Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you. This is a new presentation from www.central-mosque.com and from the Humble Heart YouTube channel. The topic today is animal rennet, cheese, whey, halal or haram, a detailed discussion. I've been told that I speak too fast, so I'm going to deliberately try to slow down so people can understand and continue to keep pace. My teacher Imam Abu Yusuf Hafidhahullah Ta'ala from Damascus used to say that fiqh is not Burger King. If you need to understand something, spend time on it diligently and thoroughly. If you don't have the time, don't study fiqh. So I advise you to watch this presentation all the way to the end. I am human and I make mistakes. The comment section is open for you to point out my mistakes and errors so they can be corrected. First, a disclaimer. In Islam, taqleed or following of ulama is mandatory and an obligation. I am not a scholar. YouTube is not a scholar. Therefore, it would be impermissible and prohibited for you to follow this presentation to make something halal or haram based on just this presentation. You need to consult the ulama and make taqleed of the ulama whether you choose to eat products which contain animal rennet or choose not to eat such products. Either way, you need to make taqleed and follow the opinion of the ulama and not this YouTube presentation. Secondly, pork is absolutely prohibited in Islam. So when this presentation talks about animal rennet, the contents taken from a pig are automatically excluded. Let me make it clear for you. When I'm talking about animal rennet, I am not talking about rennet from a pig. It is not correct for a Muslim to consume anything taken from a pig under ordinary circumstances at all. Thirdly, rennet comes from 4 sources, and they are mainly fermentation-based chymosin, microbial fungi-based rennet, plant rennet, and then the number 4 primarily from a calf. In August 2020, most of the rennet, and I would say 90 to 95% of the rennet, comes from the first 3 sources, which are non-animal based and perfectly halal. The products using these sources of rennet are labeled suitable for vegetarians, or you can even ask Pizza Hut or Domino's or your local pizza chain about these cheese and they will tell you if it's suitable for vegetarian or not. In fact, you will have to go hunting for cheese made from animal rennet in August 2020. So you can easily avoid cheese from animal rennet if you want to. My intention is for this presentation is to understand and appreciate the effort which the ulama, the scholars of Islam, have put in for us to derive or come at a ruling. So what does rennet actually do? This is milk. You need to curd it or solidify it. This isn't yogurt. Don't get confused by looking at the picture. And this is cheese that you convert. Rennet is used to curd the milk. There are other things which you can use instead of rennet as well, but the point remains the same, going from milk to curding the milk and solidifying it. When it comes to cheese, the final product, then regardless of the ingredients, we have evidence from the Sunnah that it is halal. On the authority of Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, who states that on one occasion of war, cheese was brought to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He asked, where was this produced? They said, Persia. And we considered that it was produced from carrion, meat, not slaughtered according to Sharia. He said, cut it with a knife and take Allah's name and eat it. From Musnad Ahmad. Secondly, the Prophet ﷺ was brought a piece of cheese in Tabuk. He called for a knife, mentioned Allah's name, and cut it. From Abu Dawood. Here the cheese is made from animal rennet or animals which came from non-Muslims or even people who were not even Ahlul Kitab or people of the book, and it was still consumed. We also have evidence from the Sahaba that cheese, the product, is halal. Jarir told us from Mughayra, from Abu Wa'il, from Ibrahim radiyallahu ajma'een, who said, when the Muslims came, they got some food from the Aegeans, their cheese and bread, and they ate and did not ask about that. The cheese was described to Sayyiduna Umar radiyallahu an, and he said, mention the name of Allah over it and eat it. Narrated by Ibn Abi Shaybah. Abu Bakr told us, Waki told us from Sufyan, from Jahash, from Muawiyah ibn Qurra, from Al-Hasan ibn Ali, all radiyallahu ajma'een, that he was asked about cheese and said, there's nothing wrong with it, mention the name of Allah over it as you're cutting it and eat. When it comes to the Fatawa, then we have cheese being permissible from animal rennet from many ulama. For example, Maulana Ashraf Ali Thanwi rahimahullah ta'ala, Mufti Nizamuddin Shamzai rahimahullah ta'ala, Mufti Mahmud Hassan Gangohi rahimahullah ta'ala, Sheikh bin Baz rahimahullah ta'ala, Mufti Taqi Usmani hafidhahullah ta'ala, Mufti Ibrahim Desai hafidhahullah ta'ala, Mufti Razaul Haq hafidhahullah ta'ala, and Mufti Yusuf Sacha hafidhahullah ta'ala of Britain. Links are in the description. Everyone apart from Mufti Taqi Usmani and Mufti Ibrahim Desai are mentioned specifically, while the rest are mentioned in Fatawa Darul Zakaria. And Mufti Yusuf Sacha's opinion is in the Halal Food Guide. Now, let's look at the opposite opinion. The cheese produced from animal rennet is not permissible. The ulama in this group fall into two main groups. Firstly, in the madhab of Imam Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala, the great Imam Hanifa rahimahullah is of the opinion that animal rennet is pure and permissible to use. His illustrious students such as Imam Abu Yusuf rahimahullah ta'ala disagree. So some ulama give a fatwa on that, while the earlier list which I read out based their fatwa on Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala himself. The second group of ulama say that it is modern method of extraction of rennet which is the problem. The issue isn't rennet itself, but the actual stomach or parts of the animal is used, which makes the rennet which is produced impure. So they say because rennet extraction process in our time has changed and the actual physical contents of the animal instead of just rennet is used, which makes the entire substance impure. There are two methods of rennet production, the small or non-commercial method and the commercial method. Let me show you the small or the non-commercial method, which will point to the argument that these ulama are making in the second category, who do not permit consumption of animal rennet, because it is better demonstrated by me showing you this method. Although they base their opinion on the commercial process. But in my opinion, the contamination is far greater in the first method, which I'm going to show you, and I can easily show you and demonstrate it to you. Before I do that, let me explain the stomach of the calf. Unlike humans, the stomach of the calf has four parts. It is rectilium, rumen, omasum, and abomasum. The abomasum, which is actually connected to the intestine, is what produces rennet. When the calf is young and still drinking the mother's milk, rennet is produced in it, which is used in the production of cheese. Now let's watch the video and let me show you what actually happens. So this is the stomach of the cow. So let me tell you what happens when the stomach of the calf, rather, let me make that distinction. So what happens if when an animal is still drinking the milk of its mother, then rennet is produced. That is the only time the rennet is produced. So as the animal grows older and older, there's no rennet in the stomach because it's eating grass or whatever. So this is the stomach of the calf, what you see right here. So as I talked about, it has four parts. So if we continue to watch this video, so the point they're trying to make is there are different parts of this that you can readily identify, such as this right here, the long part. This is the abomasum. This is where rennet actually sits. This is the part which is connected to the intestine of the animal, and you identify it by using the longest one, and it is the one which is connected to the intestine. Now the inside of the four stomachs of the calf, the structure and the composition is different. So if you were to cut it open, you will see that they look different. So the abomasum looks like intestines, and this is the one which has the rennet inside. So what you do is you identify it, you cut it open, and this doesn't look like it. And I'm going to pause this video right here for a moment. Right here. So this structure, it looks like the intestines, and this is the abomasum of the calf. Now, understand the argument of the ulama who are saying that the animal rennet is impermissible in 2020. What they're saying, and again, I'm simply narrating this point of view. I have no idea what they base this understanding on. What they say is in the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the companions, they used to cut open this stomach like this. Then they used to take out the rennet and use it. So rennet actually sits in the stomach. You know, it's either liquid or semi-solid, or something like that, but it is different to the stomach itself. So what they're saying is Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala and others have ruled on this material which sits inside the stomach. What they're saying is in these days, in 2020, this is a very good example. This guy has cut open the stomach of this calf, which was stillbirth. It wasn't living at the time of birth. And what he says is he says there was nothing in the stomach, so he had nothing to clean or wash or take away from the stomach at all. What he's going to do is he's going to cut open pieces of the stomach and use that to produce as a rennet substitute. And this is the argument of the scholars. So I hope I'm trying to explain it as best as I can. However, I have not found any evidence of how they're saying this method has changed, because as I've talked about, scholars of the very recent past, Maulana Ashraf Ali Thanwi rahimahullah ta'ala in India, he lived less than 100 years ago. Okay. So are you saying that within the last 100 years this has changed and it used to be different or whatever? I am not sure. I'm simply presenting you their point of view at this time. So if we continue to watch this video, and I'll continue to talk over it. So what they do is this guy, he dips it in salt and all kinds of preservatives and so on and so forth. And all they're going to do is dry it and actually use the content of the stomach itself and not rennet. So this is the point of view of the ulama. So what they do is they let this dry. And this drying process can take from a few days to a few weeks or whatever it may be. So the stomach itself, the stomach lining itself is drying. Okay. So this is, once again, I'm trying to simplify it. The ulama are saying it's not the rennet, but they're actually using the stomach lining. So after it's dry, this is like a beef jerky or something. Imagine like a jerky. And what they do is they cut it up like this. And what they do is they store it in salt, like he's doing, and put a lot of salt in, and you can preserve it for a very long time and it does not go bad with this situation. And then all they do is when they need to use it, they dip it in water, right? They take a little piece of skin, dip it in water, okay? That becomes rennet water or another substance like so. You add it to the milk and it begins to curd or solidify. So this is the process of using animal rennet, and this is the reason the ulama who say it's not permissible are saying in our times it's using the actual content of an animal which was not slaughtered Islamically. So that is their point of view. So in the commercial process, the abomasum is milled or ground down and the enzymes are then extracted from the process. So once again, the argument of the ulama is that this isn't about rennet, but the actual parts of the stomach which are being used from an animal which was not slaughtered Islamically. The example of a dead donkey falling in a salt wine is used in the books of fiqh. They talk about donkey becoming the salt. Well, you can't really take this literally because it's impossible. The bones of the donkey have calcium. It can never become sodium chloride. Neither can its hair, which has got keratin in it, and its fat and protein. It can never become sodium chloride. It's impossible to take this literally. So what the books of fiqh state that if you remove the carcass of the dead donkey, and then remove salt around it until you clear the effects of the dead donkey and they're no longer visible or perceptible on the salt itself. So how do you determine that? Well, you do that by looking, sorry about that, let me go back to this presentation. So you look at it by looking at the color, the taste, and the look of something. So you check whether it's pure or impure. Remember, I'm not talking about a strict scientific test, but a basic test for water, which you can run using your senses. So this is sewage or wastewater plant. This is dirty or impure water. It smells dirty, looks dirty, and I don't even want to tell you to taste it. It is then filtered and processed until the look, color, and the taste changes, and this water is then pure from an Islamic point of view. Once again, I'm not talking to you from a health point of view or a microbial point of view. It may not be very healthy to drink and so on, but from an Islamic point of view, if I was to give you a glass of water when it's all filtered and cleaned up, then the look, color, and the taste of this water, it will be perceived pure. I can give it to you in a container. You can do wudu with it or do whatever. So once again, the look, color, taste. I came across a fatwa from Darul Qasim, again the link is in the description, which states that even in the extreme, when the parts of the animal and not the rennet is used, there are no actual parts of the animal which remain at the end. So we're going beyond the look, smell, taste of it, but the actual lab tests confirm that the parts of the animal are not present, or the parts of the animal protein are not present in the rennet. The fatwa reads, as for 5% animal based rennet, so remember what I said is 95% of the rennet which is out in the market is not animal based. It basically comes from other sources which are perfectly halal. But even the 5% of the animal based rennet, we received direct clarification from two of the leading manufacturers and marketers of the calf rennets in the US and worldwide. Hansen and Royal DSM both stated emphatically that animal tissues and enzymes are separated and filtered through thousands of liters of water at the time of production. Thus, tissue from the animal's stomach are not present in the final rennet product. Then, the way you use it is the 15 you use 15 milliliters, a very small quantity of animal rennet, which by the way had no animal proteins to begin with, and you mix it with 100 liters of milk, so it is diluted to even further huge quantities. So once again, these ulama are saying that this animal rennet which was produced, which is lab tested to contain no animal protein, and then it mixed with hundreds of liters of milk, is impure, and thus the cheese which is produced from it is not permissible to use. There are other ulama who say that because this does not contain any animal protein and stuff to begin with, and then once again is diluted to such a large extent, the cheese produced from it would be permissible. Once again, you have two different point of views. Finally, let's talk about whey. When the milk is curdled, the liquid which is left over is called whey, so it carries the same opinion as cheese. If you follow the opinion of the scholars who say the animal rennet, or the usage of animal rennet is permissible, then the whey produced would be permissible. If you follow the opinion of the scholars who say the animal rennet is not permissible, then the whey would also be not permissible. By the way, just like cheese, whey is also easily available from non-animal rennet, so you can avoid the whole debate if you wanted to. My point of this presentation was to explore the entire idea and to do research into how the ulama arrived at their conclusions. Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.